You are welcome to the Messiah channel, an end-time ministry that focuses on end-time events. And today our message is dedicated to a question that has divided the world, the Christian world. And the question is, was the Messiah black or white? And we are focusing on this issue because many people have lied in the name of the Lord. And they have lied regarding the identity of the Messiah. So many questions are asked. Does skin color matter in the Bible? Does the color of the Messiah matter with regard to the issue of salvation? Does the true identity of the Messiah matter in the end times? And we are looking at this, and we are looking at it in connection with the deception and distortion about the identity of the Messiah. And throughout history, the identity of the Messiah has been distorted, and it has been distorted by people who lie in the name of the Lord. They use the name of the Lord to lie. It's high time we identify the lies. And so we are going to focus on the identity of the Messiah, the color of the skin of the Messiah. And this is relevant at the time that we are in, where the Bible has been distorted, scriptures have been distorted historically to paint an image of the Messiah with the intent to distort the identity of the Messiah. The question is, who has an interest in distorting the identity of the Messiah, preaching falsehood about the Messiah? The first one is Lucifer. Lucifer has an interest to deceive the world, and deceiving the world involves deceiving people about the identity of the Messiah, to distort the image of the Messiah, and so that it will cause confusion among people, confusion within the community who are waiting for the arrival of the Messiah. There are 2 points of view. The first one is the Messiah was a white person, and that's what the world has known since the 13th century, with blue eyes, silky hair, tall, with European features. Of course, the other people also believe that the Messiah was black. And here we are looking at the recent developments with regard to what happened in Russia. Putin allowing the votes to be opened so that the icons, the biblical icons, will be revealed to the whole world. And so the Pandora's box has been opened. The cat is out of the bag. Vladimir Putin has allowed the votes to be opened so that the iconic images that were hidden will now be open. A lot of people will have access to it, and the mystery is now open. So the question, was the Messiah a black man or was he a white man? The opening of the votes in Russia by Putin has answered the question. And as we are aware, the icons in Russia are noted for the biblical images, including the image of the Messiah, the mother of the Messiah, and people who were close to the Messiah. And there's no question that the Messiah was a black man, and the people around him were black men. And so the Messiah was actually a black person, a person of color, if you will. And how come his identity was changed? And that question is answered by Putin. I'm saying it's answered by Putin because he is the instrument that the Lord used to answer the question when he decided to release history, mysteries, the icons in the Bible that historically have depicted the Messiah as a black person. What happened? Why is it that the icons in Russia are depicting the Messiah as black, whilst the whole world, the West, Europe, has historically, since recent times, depicted the Messiah as a white person? It's all because something happened. Russia was cut off the Byzantine Empire when there was the Mongolian invasion of Russia, and Russia was cut off from Europe, and so Russia was not subjected to the hegemony of the Byzantine Empire. And so when the Mongolians invaded Russia, the icons were kept intact. At the same time, when Europeans decided to paint the Messiah white, they didn't have control over Russia. And so something happened. While Russia kept the original paintings as they are, of course, the icons are black. The Europeans began their painting work. They painted the Messiah white. And so there comes a time when the truth has to come out. And Putin decides to open the votes in Russia so that everybody can see the icons, the biblical icons. Everybody will see the issue about the true color, the true identity of the Messiah, and the true identity of the people who were with the Messiah. So the truth has come out, and the Lord used Putin to tell the truth. And so the light has shined, and now we know that those who use their power, I'm talking about their skin power, I'm talking about their white privilege, and those who use that to paint Jesus white, to paint Mary white, to paint angels white, to paint God white, to paint the disciples and apostles white. The light is now shining on them. And I'm talking about those who lied in the name of the Lord. I'm talking about those who are lying in the name of the Lord. They are still lying in the name of the Lord. When would they stop the lying? Because in Revelation, it is very clear that those who lie will not enter the kingdom of God. And I'm not sure whether those who lie in the name of the Lord will enter the kingdom of God. But I'm sure by the book of Revelation that lies will not enter the kingdom of God. And lies include those who lie about the identity of the Messiah, those who paint the Messiah in a different color other than the original color of the Messiah. Those are the lies I'm talking about. Those are the people who are lying. They are telling lies in the name of the Lord. And they have a reason to tell lies in the name of the Lord. I'm talking about the fake church. I'm talking about fake Christianity. I'm talking about those who use the Bible to support their agenda. Those who use the Bible claiming that they went to other places on a civilizing mission. They went to other places to Christianize the world, to spread the gospel. It was a different gospel that they spread. It was a gospel of deception, gospel of exploitation, a gospel that will endorse supremacy. I'm talking about white supremacy. I'm talking about European supremacy. I'm talking about false gospel of salvation, because it was a gospel that was premised on a white Jesus, preaching to the world that Jesus is white. And some of them even said that Jesus came to save white people, and black people, people of color, are not savable. They are condemned. They are condemned to be the wretches of the earth, drawers of water and hewers of wood. They lie in the name of the Lord. But the light came when Putin allowed the world to see the truth. And so the light came to the world and shined on the lies. The light came to the world and is shining on the lies. Everybody now is looking at the icons in Russia. It took the Mongolian invasion of Russia to protect the sanctity of truth, to protect the icons, to be whitewashed by European evangelists and historians and kings and queens. It took the Mongolian invasion of Russia to cut Russia off from the Byzantine Empire, so that the icons in Russia will not be whitewashed. It will maintain their original identity. So there was a time that everybody had the same icons, the Russians and the Romans. The Romans, the Europeans painted Jesus white during the Renaissance period, when they were preaching a gospel of racial supremacy. They had an interest, because they had an interest in projecting a particular race. And that is the history of people who use their racial hegemony to oppress the world. And with that intent, they were prepared to lie, tell lies, telling lies in the name of the Lord. They don't have any shame at all, because they are shame-proof. Somebody who is shame-proof is somebody who doesn't have any shame. So they preach false gospel, lying in the name of the Lord. But thankfully, to the events in Russia, now we know that there was a time when the true icons, the true paintings actually reflected the truth. And I'm looking at some of the paintings in Russia, and I will focus on a painting about the Annunciation. The Annunciation in the Bible is the event where the angel Gabriel was sent to Mary to prophesy about the Messiah. And the painting shows the color of the angel Gabriel, the color of Mary. They are all black. And so there was a time that those who were closer to history knew the true identity of the Messiah. They knew the true identity of the mother of the Messiah and the people who were around the Messiah. And they rightly did a painting. And that painting has been preserved in Russia. And we thank God for that, because otherwise the liars and the deceivers who have led the world deceived with a white Jesus with blue eyes and blonde hair. The paintings, the icons in Russia, there's one about John the Baptist and Mary. And John the Baptist is a man of color. He's not a white person. Mary, a woman of color, not an European lady with European features to suit European agenda, to suit the agenda of the kings and the queens of Europe, who wanted to project white supremacy to support their desire to own and conquer the world, their desire to enslave everybody whose color is not a white color. And so now when you see the icons in Russia depicting the color, the true color of the Messiah and the people who were around the Messiah, now you understand why a pastor in Baltimore, Pastor Felder, came out with a black Bible depicting the characters in the Bible as black. And when the Bible was published, I believe in the early 1990s, the mainstream media depicted the pastor as a racist. Racist because he was actually telling the truth that the biblical characters were black. So they depicted him as being racist, but he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth because now the icons in Russia support the Negroid identity of the Messiah and the people who matters, people who matter, those who matter with regard to the Bible. John the Baptist, the one who baptized the Messiah around the river Jordan. Mary, who gave birth to the Messiah. The apostles who were with the Messiah. Their true identity has been revealed in the icons in Russia, the Russia icons. And so those who lie in the name of the Lord, their lies are now catching up with them, because there's a light that is shining on their lies, those who lied in the name of the Lord. If Russia had not been invaded by the Mongolians, the Mongols, Russia would have been part of the Byzantine Empire, and Russia would also have been subjected to whitewashing. But thank God, the historical event, the invasion, prevented the Byzantine Empire and the Europeans to control the course of history. And so when they whitewashed the Bible, they could not whitewash the Bible, the icons in Russia, because Russia was under an invasion. It was under a different occupation. If the Byzantine Empire had control over the world, they would have whitewashed the whole world, and the truth would not have come up. But now, the Lord who controls history has chosen a time and has chosen a leader, Putin, in a time like this, to tell the truth about the identity of the Messiah. And this comes in the end times when the Messiah is preparing to appear. He's coming to gather his elect who are scattered over the world. The story in Russia is not different from the story in Egypt, because those who whitewash history, particularly the history of the Negroes, they also whitewashed the history of Black Egypt. And the Europeans masqueraded as Egyptologists, and they are preserving the white history, or a white history of Egypt. And so they wanted the history of Egypt to be distinct and separate from the history of Africa, because they falsely argued that Egypt was a white Egypt, and the history of Egypt is different from the history of Black Africa. So they maintained white supremacy in their intellectual endeavors. And the truth came out in 1974, when the United Nations had a symposium in Cairo. And during that symposium in Cairo in 1974, 18 scholars from Europe, America, and the Arab world, they attempted to whitewash the history of Black Egypt. They presented so-called research evidence in opposition, two Black men, one from Senegal, one from Congo. They presented historic, accurate, overwhelming evidence that the civilization in Egypt was authored by Black people, and Black civilization was the first civilization, a major civilization that influenced the whole world. Two Black men, one from Senegal and one from Congo. I'm talking about Sheikh Anta Diop and Obenga, two Black scholars. They challenged the falsity of white Egypt. They presented overwhelming evidence, and they defeated 18 American, European, and Arab scholars. And so they were able to shed light on the lies about a white Egypt, because those who are interested in presenting a white Egypt are those who are interested in suppressing the identity of the Messiah, in suppressing who the Black people are. In the case of Egypt, they would distort the noses of the statues of the pharaohs to let them look less Negroes, because history shows that the pharaohs were black men, they were Negroes, and so their statues were vandalized because it was in the interest of Egypt and Europe to suppress the history of black civilization. But the 1974 symposium by Sheikh Anta Diop shattered their myth. And they haven't stopped it. They are still lying in the name of the Lord. And they are doing this through what I'll call intellectual fraud and intimidation. And those who are lying in the name of the Lord are perpetuating the myth of a white Jesus. And so I believe that the events in Russia, the Russia icons coming to light, depicting the Negroid identity of the Messiah, the mother of the Messiah, John the Baptist, and those around the Messiah, that has actually shattered the myth of a white Jesus, the myth of a white John the Baptist. And I'm here to report that on April the 5th, 2007, the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and John the Baptist both appeared to me in a vision. And they were black men with Negroid features, black color, and a Negroid hair on their head. And that will be consistent with the icons in Russia, which Putin has allowed to be open to the public, so that it will shed light on the lies of the kings and queens, the lies of the apostles of deception, the lies of those preaching and proclaiming a white Jesus, the lies of the Renaissance painters who use their brush to whitewash black icons, to whitewash Jesus, those who are lying in the name of the Lord. Their lies has come to light, and we are very confident that the Messiah himself will shed light on who he is. Because Revelation 1 verse 7 says, he comes in the clouds of heaven, and every eye will see him, including those who pierced him. And all the nations of the world will mourn because of him. And those who pierced him include those who white painted his image, distorted his identity, and those who are still preaching false theology about him, those who are lying in the name of the Lord. They are using the name of the Lord to lie about the Lord himself. That is a blasphemy. And so the question is asked again, was the Messiah black or white? Go to Russia. The truth is there. And Putin will tell you the truth. He will allow you to go and watch the icons. And then you can know how those people who lie in the name of the Lord, the kings and queens, the popes and pastors, those who paid money to people to paint the Messiah white with the intent to lie in the name of the Lord. They should go to Russia. They will find the truth. They should also go to UNESCO and go to the archives and search about the 1974 conference, UNESCO conference in Cairo, and they will know that there came a time when the lies of Egyptologists came to light, because there was a brilliant dark-skinned scholar, Sheikh Anta Diop, who had overwhelming evidence to override the lies of the so-called scholars who were distorting black civilization. The Messiah himself will come, he will show up, and he will answer the question. But I believe that he will confirm the truth in the icons in Russia that the Messiah is black and the people around him were black. And at that time, when the Messiah comes, when he comes in the clouds of heaven, when I see him, then I will remember the vision that I had about him on April the 5th, 2007, when he, alongside John the Baptist, appeared to me in a vision as black men. Then I also remember the vision that I had in 2012, when the sons of Issachar appeared to me as Negroes. Was the Messiah black or white? The truth will come. The Messiah himself will answer the question. And those who are lying in the name of the Lord, they will be put to shame. But I don't think it will be enough, because the Bible is very clear. Those who tell lies and those who like listening to lies, they will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. The Revelation decree is clear. Those who lie and those who listen to lies, they will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So stop listening to lies, and don't let skin color send you to hell. Don't let your belief in skin color send you to hell. This is the message that I have for you in answering the question, was the Messiah black or white? And it's a warning to those who are lying in the name of the Lord, those who are lying about the color of the skin of the Messiah. My email is raptureafrica@yahoo.com. I'm leaving it in the description box. Thank you for watching this video.